It's like, you know, I mean, the people boo me and people shout at me, but they love him. I mean, I think they love to hate him. You know, he is that character. He does despicable things, but then, you know, he can wrong foot you every now and again. He can do something really generous and nice. There's a bit at the end of 316 when he's off to attack the prison. He just turns to Tyrese and gives him a gun and says, you know, and walks, and you think he's going to kill this guy, and he just hands him this gun, and all that is really wrong footing, and I think that's what makes him so sort of, you know, it's challenging for people because they do like him, but it's because every now and again they can see the best of him, and it's about which side is he going to fall. Is he going to go for the good side today, or is he going to go for the bad side? And that battle inside him is what I find so interesting about it, what the writers have done so well. Is that internal battle between, you know, his dark side and his good side. He said, but you can't tell anyone. I said, okay, but I can tell my kids. He went, no, I can't tell anyone, not your kids, anyone, because they'll tell people at school. So my kids kept coming home and said, you don't do it. I was like, I can't tell you. It was mad. But it was great because I was able to say to my son, look, if you do your homework, I'll tell you. And then he do it all the time. But it was great.
I'll tell you about another character that hasn't been talked about much, but he's like in the trailer, and I'm like, whoa, we should talk about him. This character, Zach, who's played by Kyle Gallner, who's actually this really awesome actor that I guess a lot of people know, maybe from Veronica Mars. He has a romantic relationship with one of the characters. It's pretty funny. He comes from this group of essentially college students that had entered the prison, and a lot of people have been picked up along the way since Woodbury. And he has a pretty big impact on the group. Actually, I can actually say it. It was in the trailer, but Robert had a fantastic walker in the. I'm not even going to say which episode, but it might be within the first 5. That moss-covered walker. This guy who had gotten basically crushed under a tree, so he's been there for months and months and months and months. I don't know, you let your imaginations run wild. You sit down, the writers sit down in the writer's room and kick it around. We come up with things, we're like, oh yeah, they're never going to be able to do that. We sit down with Greg, he's like, oh yeah, I can totally do that.
Yeah,
and here's this, and here's that. And
this season for me, I mean, you know, you read the episode and you think, well, okay, and then you get on set and you think, whoa, my God, they're doing that. It's fantastic. I mean, what Greg and his team do, and it also never ceases to amaze me. The guys who come in and play the zombies, who come in, I mean, they are so committed. Some of them should be committed, but they are committed to absolutely going for it. And we feed off them, their energy, their commitment. It's just brilliant. They're great. So everybody, you know, when they come in, they do a great job. So they add to it as well. But this season, I think they're just amazing. It's amazing what they do.
I was sitting in a like an audio playback with Gail and her, and we were saying we really should have like an internal award show for walkers.
Definitely.
You know, best half walker. You know, because there's some amazing ones this year, and like, you know, we have featured ones like the Moss Walker, but then we have just some that you see briefly that just, even in the brief moment, they tell a bit of a story of how they got there. Yeah, the walkers have been amazing this year.